welcome back to another Kraken Packs video. I'm your host, Mr. Bevers. Today we have box number 6 of our Ixalan set. This is our last box from the case. We're going to crack it open and see what we can find. We've already found 2 foil mythics out of our case, which is pretty high to begin with. You're not expected to find that many. Especially, I would assume now that the mythic count is lower than the rares because of all the dual flip lands and such. So anyway, we're hoping to see maybe like a hostage taker, search for Azcanta. I also need, I think, a couple copies of some other rares just to round out some playsets and some decks that I'm trying to build, that kind of stuff. I'd like to hit a Vraska because I only have 2 copies of her, and I'd like to hit another copy if I can. I only have 1 copy of Jace. So a Jace would be good as well. The Vraska would be better because I am trying to run the Abzan token deck for my standard events because that deck just looks like fun to play. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing it if I can get the Vraska. If I don't get it out of this box, I'll probably end up just buying it so that I can run the deck. But I have everything else already, I think, set aside. Dreams Caller Siren into Emperor's Vanguard as our first 2 rares. Let's see what else we can find here. So let me know what you guys are playing. I already built one of the Merfolk decks. I've been playing around with it. It's been doing fairly well, but I'm not playing it in standard events. I'm playing it just kitchen table. And I made it standard. So it is a standard legal deck, but I've been playing it just to sort of like experiment and see whether I like playing it or not. And it's fine. It's a beatdown deck. It's just a beatdown deck. It's a green-blue beatdown deck. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to play it. I think I will want to play the the Abzan token deck more because it's a little more interesting to play. There's a lot more stuff to pay attention to and trigger and all that kind of stuff. So, we'll see. Foil Fire Cannon Blast in front of the rare, which means the rare is a flip card, and the flip card is a Thematic Compass, which flips into the Spires of Orazka, which is basically Maze of Ish, because it removes creature from combat, but only your opponent. It removes target attacking creature your opponent controls. So you can't remove your own guy from combat, but you can remove your opponent's. Another flip card, Vance's Blasting Cannons. Flips into the Spitfire Bastion, which you can pay 3 and it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So there you go. Not bad. Obviously, the flip ones that we're looking for are Search for Azcanta, and even though Ixalan has come down in price, it's still like over $8. So I mean, like, really, Ixalan is the one you're looking for, other than Search for Azcanta. Settle the Wreckage, another very good card. I mean, 4 mana, exile all attacking creatures target player controls. That player may get lands. I mean, if you're exiling like 15 things from them, chances are they're not getting 15 lands, and if they are, then I mean, okay, it's not great for you, but chances are at that point they probably don't have many cards in their hand or many ways to draw cards with all that mana on the table. So who knows? And maybe they do have ways to draw, and maybe you have to be careful. But I mean, I think at that point, if they're swinging you with 15 things and you don't play this, you're just probably dead anyway. Rampaging Frostodon, another a good rare. It's worth a couple bucks. Mainly because it's a 3 mana 3/3, which is pretty good with Menace. So that's already pretty good. Then it says players can't gain life, which is amazing against some number of decks. In fact, it's amazing against the Abzan control deck, or the Abzan counters deck that I'm trying to build. It just shuts that deck off because you can't gain life. So it shuts off a whole bunch of the token generation, and it shuts off your life gain, so you can't really stick around in the game too long. Ripjaw Raptor, of course, was again another, right? Oh, sorry, I should say. And then also, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage, so token decks just get wrecked by it. So Rampaging Frostodon, very good. Stormfleet Aerialist, Raider's Wake, Drover of the Mighty, and Vraska's Contempt, yet another very good rare. I mean, 4 mana, exile target creature or planeswalker and gain 2 life is very good. Foil as Atzokin Archer. Atzokin Archer. Alright, what else we got here? Look at this nonsense. These packs are just like coming apart at the seams. Duskborn Skymarch, Deep Root Waters. Alright, our first mythic. Wakening Sun's Avatar. Big old derp dino. Big old derpy dino. So he's just a 7/7 that says whenever he enters the battlefield, destroy all non-dinosaurs. Sorry, if you cast it from your hand, I should say. So that way he can't, it's not like when he enters the battlefield if you know, got him from the graveyard. Because I guess that would be like, I guess the reason they worded it that way is so that people couldn't play him in like the Entomb decks. And just like have a board wipe that comes in, a 7/7 board wipe that comes in from the graveyard. Mavrin, Fane, Dusk Apostle, or Mavrin Fen, or Fine, or however you want to pronounce it. Grim Captain's Call, Tempest Caller, Merfolk Branchwalker, and a green rare, a Death Gorge Scavenger. This guy's pretty interesting as well. I haven't played around with him yet, but I have seen him played in Limited quite a bit, and he does work. Because, I mean, when he comes in, he gains you 2 life, most likely. And then when he swings, he basically becomes a 4/3, which is harder to deal with. Or gains you 2 more life, if that's what you need. Deeproot Champion, an interesting Merfolk. My Merfolk deck does not play him. The reason being that my Merfolk deck does not have enough non-creature spells in it to warrant playing him. Steadfast Armasaur, Emergent Growth, Drover of the Mighty, and a second Vance's Blasting Cannons. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's not great, but out of the other 5 boxes I've opened, I only opened 1 copy of Vance's Blasting Cannons. So I mean, to have 2 in here means it evens out my my numbers a little bit more, because I have like, I think I have 5 already of Azcanta, and I think I have 4 Growing Rights, but I only had 1 Vance's Blasting Cannon. So Dragon Skull Summit, our first land, and it's a good one. Dragon Skull Summit is pretty decent. I think the one that you're looking for is Drowned. I think Drowned Catacomb is the most expensive one from a value standpoint at this point in time. Freebooter. The Freebooter. Shapers of Nature. And hey, there's the Jace Man. Alright, so we talked about wanting Vraska, and then we talked about wanting Jace, and Jace showed up first, so I guess we're probably not going to see Vraska. So that's unfortunate. But, I mean, I still hope. There's still hope. There's always hope. I hope that we see 2 walkers in 1 box, because I haven't had 2 walkers in 1 box in a very, very long time. Sword Point Diplomacy as our rare there. It's an interesting card. I don't know if... I should say, I played it once. It didn't do any work for me. I've had opponents play it against me, and it did nothing for them as well. Because essentially, every time it was played against me, they revealed 3 lands, and I was just like, you can have those. I will not take 9 damage, and you can have 3 lands. And most of the time is when they already had like 6 or 7 lands on the table already, so it was like, you can have those lands, I don't care. Because you have enough mana to play pretty much anything in your hand, and you can just have them, that's fine. Spell Swindle was our other next rare there. And our rare here is a Priest of the Wakening Sun and a foil Skittering Heartstopper. We're a little low on foils still. We're just over halfway through the box, and we only have 3 foils. So that's kind of low. Kemetra's Speaker, or Kumena's Speaker, I should say. Raging Swordtooth, and a Daring Saboteur. He is, in my opinion, unimpressive. Even in Limited, he is not the best. I had one opponent use him very well against me and still lost. Vanquisher's Banner. I like Vanquisher's Banner, although it's 5 mana. But being able to turn your tribal deck into something that essentially pumps your tribe and also then allows you to draw cards when you play your tribes is pretty sweet. So, I mean, I'm going to put it here. And we got a Primal Amulet, which flips into the Primal Wellspring, which is add a mana of any color to your mana pool. When that mana is spent to cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy that spell, and you may choose new targets. So there we go. There's all our flip cards. So far, 2 Blasting Cannons, and a Thematic Compass, and a Primal Amulet as our flip cards. Not so bad. How are you guys enjoying the format? Is it getting stale to you yet? Are you enjoying it? Ruin Raider. Are you playing a lot? Or are you not playing at all? I guess those are my questions. I've been playing a bunch of drafts here and there when I have time. And I've been playing on MTGO, specifically because of the leagues, and I can just, like, I can make a draft deck when I have a half hour, and then I can play around when I have half an hour to 40 minutes, and then I can walk away and do other things if I need to. Sanguine Sacrament, and our foil here is a Looming Altasaur. So it's been going okay. I haven't been doing amazing, but I haven't been doing terribly. I think I am up to 6 trophies now, so that's not so bad. 6 trophies is when you go 3-0. So I've gone 3-0 at least 6 times, which is pretty decent. Kitesail Freebooter, Sentinel Totem, Bellowing Aegisaur, and oh no, our 3rd mythic, which is probably our last mythic, is Overflowing Insight, which I do not want. Drawing 7 cards for 7 mana at sorcery speed doesn't seem like a thing that I ever want to be doing. Walk the Plank, very good removal spell. Captain Lannery Storm. She's interesting in draft because she's a 2/2 for 3 with haste, and when she attacks, she makes a treasure. So essentially ramping you up, and then if they don't block it, you get in 2 damage, and when you sack your treasures, she gets +1/+0. Hard Eye Foil is in front of the rare, which means the rare is a flip, so we're hoping for search. Is it blue? No, it's an artifact. Dowsing Dagger. Inspiring Cleric foil. Dowsing Dagger is a 2/1 that gives your opponent 2/0/2 plants, and it says when you flip it, it basically turns into a Lost Veil, which is basically like the like a lotus. What is it? Gilded Lotus that makes 3 mana for you. I think that's the one, but I can't remember. Anyway, it's basically like a lotus, making 3 mana of any color. Rigging Runner, Verdant Rebirth, Savage Stomp, and Tilonali's Skin Shifter. And we need to get a foil. What? 3 copies of Vance's Blasting Cannons in the same box. One of them being foil. I mean, fine. Foil flip cards are super cool to me because they're foiled on both sides, which is neat. So I'm always super stoked to get the foil flip cards. And the foil flip cards in this set are probably a little bit, like, rarer, I guess, than the others. But I don't know. But still, I mean, the foiling on this side looks super cool because the fireball, like, going through the sky there. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, I have to say. The fact that we got 3 Vance's Blasting Cannons in the same box is pretty funny to me. I mean, like, all you can do is laugh with it, right? I mean, you can't... There's not much else you can do, right? Favorable Winds, Thundering Spineback, Emissary of Sunrise, and Sunbird's Invocation. This is an interesting card in draft as well. Basically turning your whole deck into a deck that has Cascade, if you can get it on the table. I had one opponent that played me in a draft that went Sunbird's Invocation into Sunbird's Invocation, and I went, what? You have 2 of them? I was like, okay, sure. And we got our 4th mythic, but it's Admiral Beckett Brass, which is not what we were looking at. We wanted Vraska. None of you were listening. None of these cards were listening. We wanted Vraska, not Admiral Beckett Brass. Don't get me wrong, Admiral Beckett Brass, you're fine, but you're not Vraska. I would prefer Vraska. But I mean, hey, whatever. Siren Storm Tamer, I think, is still about $1, so I should have been pulling those out, but I forgot. Ashes of the Abhorrent as our rare there. Nothing crazy to write home about. So no Search for Azcanta, no Itlamok, no Vraska. My goodness. We did get 3 copies of Vance's Blasting Cannon, though. Which is, I mean, that's obviously the winner right there. This is obviously going down in history as best box ever, because 3 copies of the same rare. Sounds about right. One of them being foil, of course. So, I mean, bonus. Deadeye Plunderers, Adanto Vanguard, and Entrancing Melody. Very good card in Limited as well. Basically just like pay 2 blue and X and take whatever it is that they have that you don't want. I actually used it against an opponent in one draft to take their 1/1 lifelink token that they had put 2 enchantments on. So I got to cast it for 2 blue and 0 and steal a 5/5 flying lifelink. Which was pretty funny to me. I was like, yes, I'll take that. Thank you. Shadowed Caravel. Hey, we got a foil forest. That's pretty nice. Alright, last pack. Last pack in the box. We're not going to see another mythic because we've opened 4. We opened our foil rare. So we're expecting... We want to see Search for Azcanta will turn this box around a little bit. I don't think it will make it by far the best box I've opened. But it will turn it around. Or even Hostage Taker. We haven't seen Hostage Taker either. Oh, it's red. Vance's Blasting Cannon. Like that. How funny would that be? Like a 4th copy of Vance's Blasting Cannon. So yeah, we almost got an entire playset of Vance's Blasting Cannon out of this box. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. We did not terribly. I mean... Well, I mean... We didn't do great. We didn't do great, but we didn't do terribly. It could have been much worse. But it could have been also... quite significantly better. We only hit 1 of the lands. Dragon Skull Summit. Normally you would expect to probably hit at least 2 of the lands out of the deck. Or out of the box. So we only got Dragon Skull Summit. We missed on all the other ones. There's 4 more. We missed on all of them. Our mythics were all kind of the low-end mythics, like Overflowing Insight, Awakening Sun's Avatar, and Admiral Beckett Brass are all fairly low on the price value range. Jace, I think, is probably not so bad. I think he's in like the $6 to $8 range, somewhere like that. But he's obviously he's better than Watley from a value perspective, but he's not Vraska. Vraska's like, what, $17, $18 still? And we didn't hit any of the Growing Rights or... Search for Azcanta. So those are the 2 like basically like money rares. We hit Ripjaw, which is pretty good from a value perspective, and Vraska's Contempt, which is also pretty good. We hit Rampaging Ferocodon, which is a couple bucks, and Settle the Wreckage, which is a couple bucks. But the rest of this is all basically just bulk. So, I mean, could have been a lot better, but it could have also been worse. I mean, we could have ended up with like, you know, instead of 3 copies of Vance's, we could have ended up with 3 copies of like Angarath, right? Which is much worse. I think Vance is actually worth a couple dollars as well. But yeah, and I think the Primal Amulet is a couple bucks. So I mean, like, there's a couple good cards in here. And I mean, we hit Jace. I needed a second Jace, so now I've got 2 for my collection, which is good. We hit a foil forest, which is nice. The fact, and I mean, let's be honest, the comedy of this box is the Vance's Blasting Cannons. I mean, I know I've said it a million times by this point, but 3 copies of the same rare in one box is pretty funny. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Mr. Bevers. This has been box number 6 of Ixalan. You probably won't see me open up any more Ixalan products for myself. Chances are I'll be opening up some bundles for some of my patrons, possibly. Speaking of my patrons, I do have a patron page where you can go and get things like grab bags, or you can sign up for booster bundles or booster boxes, or you can sign up for just the grab bag. Pretty much all of the lower end tiers of MTG stuff come with a grab bag and a discount code to my store, nerdvanastore.ca, where you can get your singles and things like that. Check it out. Everything's in Canadian dollars, so if the prices look high to you, it's actually not, because if you buy it, you'll end up paying less American because the exchange rate is so poop for us right now. So if the prices look a little steep, it's because it's all in Canadian dollars. Don't worry about it. when you pay for it, you'll end up paying less. I try to keep my prices under that of the lowest market price available for those cards on TCG Player. So check it out. I would appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.